let's move on to your, great and productive visit up to Lyft. So I guess how did you even get this visit planned? How did you even get started with it?
So back in November, I'll be totally upfront. I think all drivers, whether they're Uber drivers or Lyft drivers, have been feeling frustrated lately because of this price war between the two companies and rates continually being slashed. And I had invested quite a bit of money into my concept, thousands of dollars, in fact. Whether it was, my outfits and my makeovers and the website and all the gadgets for my car and everything else. And I, at the very least, I wanted to have return on investment. And when, the companies kept slashing rates, it was getting harder and harder to get back to that goal. And I wrote this letter, like a one-page letter in frustration, just saying, I don't know if I could do this anymore. Here are a couple of ideas that I have to help fix the situation. And I posted the letter on Facebook on a couple of Lyft forums, and I posted it on Medium, which is a blog format, and the whole thing went viral. I got thousands of hits within hours, comments, likes, shares, all that stuff. And then somebody suggested that I actually send the letter directly to John Zimmer. So somebody found his email address for me. I sent him the letter, and he responded to me in 2 hours, which was phenomenal. And he goes, these are some really good points. How about we talk about this the next time you're up in San Francisco? And I said, great. I try to get up there a couple times a year. And, because funds were limited, somebody suggested that I crowdfund my trip up there. So that's exactly what I did. I went on GoFundMe, and I raised $370 in like 5 or 6 hours. And all the drivers paid for my trip up there. So John's been a busy guy. He's done a lot of press. He's been busy with the rebranding of his company. And 3 months later, the meeting happens on January 29th, and I drove up there, and I was blown away by how incredible of a space his office is. I mean, it's like the Social Network meets pink furry walls everywhere and pink furry stuff. It was one of the coolest places I could imagine working. And we met for half an hour in the cafeteria, and I brought up a 13-page PowerPoint presentation. And in that presentation, I talked about my background, doing 15 years of marketing. I did a case study of driving as a drag for a couple pages, talked about how well it was received. I spent 2 pages talking about the issues. 1 page was directly related to rates, and I was very pointed with him when I asked him, what's going on? Most drivers made about double a year ago. And while he didn't directly answer that question, I asked him about raising the rates, and he said, the genuine concern about raising rates a lot is that, it could sink our business because we have this crazy competitor called Uber. And, but we are doing lots of things different right now. They launched the Glow Stash, which I think is a much needed improvement from the Free Mustache.
Yep.
Lyft Line is something that I experienced in full throttle up in San Francisco because I went up there and I actually drove for 2 days just to see what it was like in the home of Rideshare. And I must have done 13 or 14 carpool pickups in a row with my car never stopping for a minute. And I had complete strangers getting in my car, 2, 3, 4 at a time, 2 leaving, 3 coming. And it worked so well, I was like, this is going to absolutely revolutionize every major metropolitan city in the next couple of years. It was a breath of fresh air, and I felt that Lyft Line is exactly how rideshare should work in every city. It's going to help with congestion. It's going to be a cheap way for people to get around. People didn't mind getting a couple extra minutes to get to their final destination. And it just worked. It just worked so well. I was really, really amazed by how well Lyft went. I know that Lyft is also implementing a to and from work solution, for people that just want to give carpools to people en route to work and on the way back, just to make a few $100 extra per week. That's a major improvement. I've seen lots of billboards for Lyft around. I heard Lyft radio commercials. I'd imagine that there's television spots. One of my ideas that I mentioned, I also brought up 3 solutions, and I'll talk about 1 or 2 of them. One of my solutions is that Lyft needs some celebrity brand ambassadors to really stand out and galvanize for them. We definitely, Lyft has their own celebrity brand ambassadors, which I feel like are themed drivers, Hip Hop Lyft and Batman and Catwoman and The Big Lebowski and everything else. But I said, what if real celebrities got in cars with Lyft celebrities and were dropped off at things like red carpet events? And he loved that idea, and he said that there's a lot of plans in the works for more big celebrity involvement. Because that's how companies like Beats by Dre became popular. Beats by Dre sent free headphones to rappers and basketball players and, actors, and, everyone was seen wearing these headphones. They became a fashion accessory in one of the worst recessions in the world. For, $200 to $300 or however much the headphones are. I also talked about, on the issues side, support time needing to be quickened, that the support time lag was still an issue. I was worried about power bonus because I felt that if drivers are wanting to stay on the road for more than 30 or 40 hours, they have the danger of getting into accidents like truck drivers that get exhausted from being on the road for too long. I mean, that certainly happened to me. Driving in LA for 7 or 8 hours a day, it's like driving from LA to San Francisco 4 times in a row. I mean, your body is absolutely wiped out. And coming home late at night after being in 8 hours of traffic, you're just done. You're toast. And there were a couple times where I felt myself almost falling asleep on the freeway, and that was pretty dangerous. What else did I talk about? I talked about how New Year's was a tough night for Lyft and Uber drivers, that the surge was overhyped and it was in the press. And at least in LA, it was a very cold night out, and I felt like there was way too many drivers for not enough demand on the road. And he acknowledged that and apologized for that. I brought up a couple other ideas on the marketing side, mostly ideas to help re-incentivize the driver fan base, or not fan base, but the driver community, because I feel that drivers, whether they're an Uber driver or Lyft driver, are going to be the brand ambassadors for Rideshare. They're the ones that are rolling billboards with their logos or a theme or what have you. And I felt that drivers need to be re-incentivized, whether it's financially or, a trip to Lyft headquarters to meet John Zimmer, or a free T-shirt, or, a gift card to a specialty store if they want to deck out their car, stuff like that. I feel like if you can re-incentivize drivers, then the reach of either company is only going to grow that much more. All in all, it was a 30-minute meeting, and while I was hoping for a little more time, he was rushing off to meet with Katie Couric, and that interview just went up this week. And but he was really grateful that I came up with a thoroughly thought out plan, and he wants to continue the conversation, which I'm really excited about. So I'm going to be following up with him later this week or next week, and we'll go from there. And very nice guy, very transparent about stuff. I felt like he has a good vision of where the company needs to go on the public transit level, and also carving a nice new niche. Something that another driver said to me the other day is, at first I didn't get the whole glow stash thing because I'm older. She's an older mom. But now she thinks that maybe having a glow-in-the-dark thing could work just like Apple, because when you open up a laptop, you see the glow-in-the-dark Apple, and that's what made all those computers really stand out and that company blow up. It was one of many things that worked with Apple, and maybe this is the thing that's going to work for Lyft to really bring them mass market. I mean, I love my glow stash because people can see me from far away, and it also matches all the pink lights in my car and all the other pink accessories, and I think drag queens and glowing mustaches go all together.
Well, I mean, it seems like your outfit is more yellow than pink, though.
Yeah, I do have a pink outfit. It's Penelope Pitstop. She was a character on Wacky Races, which is a Hanna-Barbera cartoon back from the 70s. But yeah, I mean, I wear this taxi driver outfit. I've got some speed racer outfits, and I've got a limo driver outfit. And yeah, I just have fun with different wigs, different outfits. My personality is pretty much the same, but Yeah, this has just been a ball. I've just been having the best time of my life, and it certainly wasn't anything that I ever expected. I wasn't sure how well it was going to be received. I thought that maybe if I dressed up, I'd get a few extra tips. I had no idea that I'd be interviewed by the LA Weekly and trying to turn this into reality TV. I mean, it's been a major, it's been a blessing. I'm really grateful to be doing what I'm doing. It's a lot of fun. It is so much fun.
Yeah, it seems like you are. I mean, you're posting pictures all over the place on Facebook of all your happy customers, and yeah, like it's just all these other services that that you're offering right now to other people. It's seems like it's so innovative too. It's a little bit different from what everyone else is doing.
Thank you. A couple new elements that I want to tell my fans about that are coming out this month is I'm going to do Name That Drag, which is going to be little flashcards with pictures of drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race, Miss Doubtfire, Tom Hanks in a wig from Booze and Buddies, Vladimir Putin in drag, and they're going to have to guess like who the drag queen is and their real name. And if they can guess like 3 correctly, they're going to get candy and stuff like that. I'm also going to have drag word of the day. So, I'm going to ask people, what does shade mean? And what does, what does sickening mean? And like all the stuff that you do on RuPaul's Drag Race. And then another idea is drag queen Mad Libs. I'm going to call them drag libs that people could do while they're riding around. So I'm going to have some, I just think keeping it fresh and new gaming elements and stuff is going to make the ride even more fun. One other thing is I'm also going to be filming more of what I call the drag car sessions. Because I come from the music business, I've already filmed 3 bands playing in the back of my car. There's only room for 2 members, but a guitarist and or a drummer or whatever, they do a 5-minute interview, and then they could do 2 songs in the car and then 1 song out of the car. And I drive them around LA, and then we could stop off at Tree People or Griffith Observatory or Hollywood Boulevard, and they can play wherever they want in LA. And I feel like this is a great way to sort of cross-promote, where I'm going to be promoting the band, and then they're going to blast it out to all of their fans, and they're going to be promoting me as well. I'd love to be able to get some bigger artists in my car, like Katy Perry, which is what this wig's all about. Lady Gaga, you name it. I'd love to get George Takei in my car. I'd love to get Richard Simmons in my car. I'd love to get, you name it, any celebrity. It's all fair game. I think it's all fun. So, big things ahead in 2015.
Cool. Yeah, no, I completely forgot about you doing that band stuff in your car. I remember seeing that on your Facebook page. They had a couple of bands in your car.
Yeah, and they were all indie bands from LA, but I've worked with some big artists too, and it's just about timing and tour schedules and album release cycles and stuff like that. But once I have money from my Kickstarter campaign and some additional funding, I'm going to be able to film many more of those. I want to make sure that it's professionally shot and edited, though,
Right.
But the first 3 I did were well received, and everyone had a lot of fun, so I want to keep doing that, too.
Yeah, I know. Are you aware of that show, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee?
I am. Yeah, it's a great show.
It is surprising that they film most of their stuff with GoPros. Do you realize that? Like all the stuff that they shoot in their car?
And something else that I'll mention is, in addition to funding this 22-minute pilot, I want to launch another Kickstarter campaign to build the ultimate party bus called the Most Fab Ride. And the Most Fab Ride is going to have 4 GoPro cameras mounted for a 360 view. It's going to have a flat screen TV. I'm going to have a stripper pole. I'm going to have a Sonos surround sound system. I'm going to have a dance floor that lights up with Beats by Dre wireless headphones. I'm going to have a photo booth that you can walk into with props. I'm going to have pink couches. I'm going to have teddy bears. You name it. It's going to be the ultimate party bus. And it's going to be called the Most Fab Ride. And I hope to see it on the road before the end of the year.
Yeah, that sounds really ambitious. I'm hoping all your Kickstarter campaign just goes over really well. I'll make sure to...
One Kickstarter campaign at a time. I got to get this pilot done, and then I'm hoping that'll open up the door to an even bigger audience, and then I can crowdfund even more money.
Yeah, hopefully you get all that. Hopefully you can send me the links. I'll put it on the YouTube in the description. Hopefully get you a couple of extra hits.
Yeah, and once the LA Weekly piece is up and my Kickstarter's up, I'm trying to get both up at around the same time, so they could cross promote each other. Yeah, I'll send you everything. be happy to.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really hoping that Kickstarter campaign hits LA Weekly. I'm sure you'll get all of your you'll get all your campaigns done. Maybe if you get your first campaign finished before the LA Weekly thing hits, you may be able to get your second one started. You'll be like, oh, this guy raised $35,000 in 7 days or something doing this. So I don't know, it's a stretch, but
Yeah, and I feel pretty comfortable with my goal. I've made a lot of contacts in my last 15 years in the entertainment business, so I'm counting on you guys to fund my Kickstarter campaign, and family and friends, and then the people that I've met in the drag queen scene, the cross-dresser scene, and then all of my passengers too. I collect email addresses and phone numbers of everyone that comes in the car.
cool. All right. All right. Anything else you want to add? I guess I don't want to keep you from your from your day job, more or less. Anything else you wanted to add?
Nothing other than, I just want to thank everyone that's come into my car, and everyone that, from around the country and around the world that's supported this concept. It's definitely the craziest idea I've ever had. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, and I'm always thinking of new ideas and crazy stuff to do, but to see this come to fruition has definitely been a dream come true. And, I just want to thank RuPaul. I want to thank Lyft and Uber. I want to thank everyone that supported me. This has been a hell of a lot of fun, and I feel like the fun's just starting.
Yeah, I'm really hoping this thing really takes off, and by the end of 2015, your name will be everywhere, especially on the West Coast or the East Coast.
I hope so. And if I can turn this business into a franchise, it would bring so much joy to me if I was able to give people jobs too. I'd love to get people fully employed and getting to do something fun that they love, where they can be creative too. And I fully encourage people out there that are driving, come up with something that you're passionate about. If you're into Hungarian basket weaving, have people weave baskets in the back of your car. It doesn't matter what it is. The more fun stuff that you can introduce a passenger to, the better your reviews are going to get. You're going to get tips, and people are going to want to repeat that experience. So make it fun, and happy driving.
All right, great. Thank you so much. If you want to see more more videos like this, make sure to hit like or subscribe. Definitely check out Eric's website. I'm going to have a link below, and then his Kickstarter campaign eventually in the description. And,
Yep.
and then
The website is drivingisadrag.com, and then there's links to my Facebook and Twitter on there. And then the hashtag on Instagram is drivingisadrag as well.
right. So you could definitely just do a quick search. I know I did on Facebook. Driving is a Drag. His page will pop up right up. I believe you have a Facebook profile under that name, or Erica Simone as well.
Yeah. So what happened is that because my personal Erica page, my personal profile blew up really fast, I just converted that into a business page. And so that's the only one that looks a little bit different. It's a business page that says Erica Simone, but if you go on there, it says Driving is a Drag. So, yeah, that's the one with like 5,300 friends.
Yeah, I know. I have a friend of mine's. I think she hit her 10,000 friend limit because she's a runner. She runs I don't know, maybe like 40 marathons a year, and then maybe like 10 ultras a year as well. And she's super fast. I mean, I know she qualifies for Boston about 30 times a year.
Yep.
And which is like impressive. Most people barely do that once a year. And she made so many friends, so she's waiting for people to drop off her list so she can friend new ones. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think when I had to switch, it was a 5,000 friend limit, and right now I'm unfollowing people on Twitter so that I could add new ones, and it's social media is a full-time job. I'm looking forward to being hands off with that pretty soon.
Yeah, I know. All right, well, definitely check out the links, and then hopefully I'll be able to speak to you again once once all of your Kickstarter really takes off.
Absolutely, man, and I'll send you everything. And thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.